So who do I have back here today? I've got Ashley. It's
Hi,
awesome
Nicole.
to chat again. This time I want to get into the importance of branding when you're developing your real estate business. And again, for those who didn't see the last video with Ashley and myself, I met Ashley through commercial real estate years ago, and she was really amazing at doing marketing materials for real estate. And so now being in sales, it's like a powerhouse, marketing and sales, right? Most people are good at one, but not the other. And to be good at both is awesome. So Ashley, like I know, putting packages are to get together are so important for realtors. Can you give any like tips on what you see, like common mistakes that you see when these packages are being put together?
Yeah, well, first things first, I think a lot of times when people put their packages together or their listing presentations together, they kind of focus more so on what they do, who they are, and they don't necessarily focus on the person that they're pitching to.
Mhm.
I think people personally like to hear about themselves. Most people have like a generic package,
Mhm.
whereas I would kind of take it to the next level and do a little bit of adjustments depending on who you're pitching to. Maybe put their name on it. Maybe if you're pitching to a company, brand it to their company colors. Just just to kind of show that you are familiar with what they do, and then everyone likes to see themselves and talk about themselves, so it just gives you more of an opportunity to do that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's so simple, but people forget to do that. They think, oh, well, I have a great presentation coming up and a big presentation coming up, and I should just put me, 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 me all over it, right? It's, you have a chance to talk about you at the meeting. You don't need to oversell yourself in a package, too. It's annoying to people. Most people just gloss over that stuff. If they want to find out more about you, they'll find a way. I always think that way. So it's kind of like a fine line. You want to put enough about yourself, but you also really want to market it to your audience. And that's a really good point. And that goes beyond real estate. That just in general, that's what you want to do. And you've taken the time to learn about the business, right? So, what about putting like a strategy in place, like a branding strategy if you're working with a business? Like, I'm talking about this now. Let me backtrack. See real estate agents like with their faces blasted over benches. Like, do you still see that going on in residential?
Maybe not so much benches, but billboards.
Billboard. I've seen it on
Definitely, you
benches.
drive by, yeah. Oh, and benches, yeah. Like there's
Yeah.
still, or bus shelters.
Yeah.
There's still like kind of that. I don't want to say old school, but there
No, just
is
say it.
a,
It's old school.
okay, it's a little bit old school, but any kind of exposure, because it's not cheap to do things like that. So they're putting a lot of money into it, hoping that it's going to get them the exposure that they want. And they probably have like best broker
Hmm.
10 years running, which I guess it works. It's just for me, I'm thinking like that's kind of boastful a little bit. I don't know, but
Right.
if that's their brand, then that's their brand.
Yeah, but I think it's just an example because people go hardcore, right? And then that's like it's beyond hardcore. It's like in your face, and somebody's actually going to sit on your face on the bench. Okay, so
It's,
it's beyond in your face, right? I know it's funny, but it's
it
beyond that.
is.
And it just goes to show you there's a lot of catching up to do. I know we talked about this previous to, our chatting now in the pre-recording, that there's a lot of backward thinking still happening in the industry. Commercial's a little bit more advanced. Residential still needs some catching up to do. Would you agree with that?
Well, yeah, like definitely. But there's still, there's always those tried, tested, and true methods. Like, I don't think we're ever going to get away from the phone necessarily, like
Mhm.
making those calls, going up to the door and actually physically speaking to people present wise, because it's it's like the shift from the pandemic kind of made it another end of the extreme where it's everyone's kind of hoping to get clients through social media and just posting, and that's not necessarily going to work. So it's like that fine line between the old school methods and then with combining it with the technology we have. Like we have that capabilities to quickly follow up, quickly create those emails, even using chat GBT
Mhm.
to just send out, that kind of thing to keep in contact, but trying to find that balance between physically being there and marketing yourself online.
Yes.
So I don't think just marketing yourself online is enough. Like if you're really busy, especially as a realtor, you either have to hire someone to do it for you, or you're not going to have time to do it if you're actually trying to get business and make deals.
I like that. I like that you said that. And here's a problem that I've seen out there is that realtors or even business owners outside of real estate, they do this too. They think, "Oh yeah, social media marketing is the thing right now." And they're right. So they figure, "Why hire somebody? I'll do it myself." And then it looks like crap, right? And that's
Yeah.
your brand, and that's your brand, and that's what people see. And you could see the evolution of things when you look back in time when you first started. For example, myself doing YouTube videos. If you look at my old videos, you'll see like a big transition to today. And I'm sure in a couple years, I'm going to look at them, then and compare it to now. And it's going to be like, oh, wow. But you need to see some sort of evolution happening. And you need to also see like, what you're talking about and what you're doing and you're presenting yourself a certain way. These are skill sets that it takes time to learn, but hiring somebody to do this stuff is really important, and don't just do it yourself. And I've seen realtors do stuff like this themselves. Not good. I mean, maybe you can get away with it because you have marketing, you have a background, right? And that's what makes you special. But not everybody has that skill set.
Well, I think you made a really good point in the sense that where you start from, you should be growing and evolving. Like if you're starting as a new realtor or a new business owner, somehow in sales, trying to get clients, it's not going to be perfect right away. But that's why kind of envisioning your brand from the get-go and knowing kind of your vision statement and how you're going to conduct business, because in sales it is a long-term game. I believe that, at least. And if you kind of deviate from your core values, that could be a problem. So if you kind of align your core values, if you don't have the money to hire someone to do your marketing, just use the tools that are out there, and just kind of like the chat GBT can write you copy for your insert. You feed it through what you want it to be about, and it will kind of give you great ideas on how to put the copy in. And then with regards to the design, maybe pick like 5 colors that you really like and just stick to those 5 colors. Don't move out. Keep the same font. Don't deviate from your fonts. And use the free tools. Like you could just Google Instagram layout post ideas and things like that. It is time consuming, but if you aren't able to hire someone right away, I would definitely recommend just keep it as simple as possible. And then as you evolve and as you gain clients, then you can sit down with someone who does have the marketing expertise to really streamline it and tighten it up. Because, I don't want to tell people wait until you have all your ducks in a row, because sometimes you just have to go and learn as you go, and you
Mhm.
will evolve. The first packages I made, I couldn't even look at right now. So, but if I didn't do that, if I didn't learn from error, then I wouldn't be where I am today. So definitely don't let it limit you, but don't get overwhelmed, and try and keep it simple as possible.
Well, you know what? I really appreciate this. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thanks. I hope I can help.
Yeah, totally.